Hey YouTube, it's Matt, and today me and my balls are going to have a little bit of a rant. Now, I'm not going to name any names. I'm just not. I don't think that's the right way of doing things. And this, take it for what it is. Some of you aren't going to like it, some of you will, and I don't know. The rest of you will get over it. But here's what we're basically talking about. Is something that I think is a customer service issue and a business practice issue. And I'll tell you, if you're going to be successful in this, you know, this is kind of an idea you should follow. And what I mean is, if you make a deal, okay, stick to it. Don't go back on it. Don't do it. Even if you make a deal and you regret it. Oh, I'm not going to say that word. About said the fire truck. No, I'm not going to say it. But stick to the deal. You know, I mean, yeah. It sucks sometimes. I know I have personally sold snakes I didn't want to sell. Okay? It's happened on at least 2 occasions I can think of. One of them was when we first started. I sold this bumblebee, and you're probably thinking it was just a bumblebee. But it was our first year producing anything. And I sold this bumblebee. I mean, to this day, that is the nicest bumblebee I've ever made. The nicest. And as I'm driving on the way to meet the guy I'm selling it to, I call him up and say, hey man, I'm almost there. And I'm hoping, you know, my hope is he goes, oh yeah, we can't make it, we changed our mind. I'm like, please say that. Please say that. And Joe, if you still watch this, you know who I'm talking about. And he goes, hey man, I'm right there waiting on you. I'm like, cool, I'll be there in a few minutes. I'm like, man, I gotta be honest with you. I'm like, this is the nicest bumblebee I've personally ever seen. I hate getting rid of her. You know, and he goes, he thought I was going to back out. Well, no, I'm not going to back out. I agreed to sell that snake. He's like, oh, you know, I already bought it. I'm like, oh, yeah, I already bought it. I'm coming. It's yours. I just hate to see it go. And I did hate to see that snake go, but I still met him. I still took his money that was agreed upon, and I still gave him the snake, because that's how you conduct business. When you make that deal, you follow through. It happened this year. I ended up selling a visual exanthic female. Just a straight-up visual exanthic female. And I'm still pissed I did it. I am. I am. It's the only straight-up visual exanthic I've ever made, and I wish it was sitting right about here in my rack growing up so I could stick my zebra bee to it. But no, like an idiot, I sold that snake. And after I did, I was like, man, why did I do that? But I still followed through and honored the sale. You honor the terms of your sale. Now, I get it, you know, and in the case I'm talking about, again, I'm not going to name names. We'd had a deal reached, you know, and for what I thought was a fair price. I thought it was a fair price. I wasn't trying to screw anybody. It's not what I do. Do I try to get a good deal? Absolutely. Who doesn't? Okay? I'm not going to tell you I don't try to get a good deal. Of course I do. Everybody does. And then we had set up a time to meet. We were going to drive long ways to go pick up this animal. And literally the week that I'm supposed to go down there and get it, I hit the guy up and say, hey man, still good for this day, this time, just to make sure nothing come up, like family emergency or something else, or we know for some reason we have to reschedule. And what do I get? I get a, yeah, I don't think I can do that anymore. What? You know, really? And it was because I still told him it was worth 3 times, and it wasn't. It was a year and a half ago, or a year ago, but this is now, that was then. The market is what it is. You know, that's just the way it works. And I even provided information showing where I came to my price, how I reached that conclusion. And they were like, oh, no, I just don't want to do it. And you know, you never put money down, so therefore this is okay. And I thought, would I do that? Would I do that to somebody? Because if they'd asked for money down, I'd have gladly handed money down. We had like money sitting right there to go do it. I'd have gladly handed money down. And I thought, would I have done that to somebody? And the answer was, hell no, I wouldn't. And the reason I'm not naming names is I think it was a person who's still kind of fairly new to this. And when you're new to this, you know, you're going to make some mistakes. I'm not going to say I'm perfect. So the last thing I'm going to do is try to bust somebody out for making a mistake and call them out by name. And I just don't operate that way. I'm not trying to ruin somebody's reputation. But the whole idea is, for those of you who are getting into this, is you got to operate your business how you would want to be if you were the customer. Whenever you're running the side of the sale, whenever you're doing something like that, you've got to think of, well, what if I was the customer? I'll give you a prime example. Something that didn't happen, but very easily could have. hi little girly. This is our female banana. Okay? Now, let's say I hatched that. I didn't sex it. Somebody saw it and they said, hey man, you're selling bananas for $200 this year. I want that one. I was like, cool. I'll sell you that banana. As soon as it's ready, I'll ship it to you. And they're like, cool. And then when it gets ready to ship, I thought, well, hell, I better sex it. And I were to sex it and find out it's a female, I'm not going to call them up and go, hey, you know that banana you agreed to and we came to a price to? It ended up being a girl. So now it's $450 or $600. I would call them and say, hey, you know that banana that we agreed to, that for $200 we thought was male, it's actually female. And I know I told you $200, I'm going to honor that price. Before I do that, I want to let you know it's a girl and make sure you still want it, because maybe they don't want a female. They're going to go, hell yeah, I'll take it, because anybody would, and then I'm going to put it in a box, I'm going to ship it to them. And it's going to suck for me, but I'd rather something suck for me than suck for one of my customers. Does that make any sense? I hope it does. You know, it's just one of those things. And that doesn't mean that I'm never going to make a mistake. Trust me, I am. I'm going to make one, I'm going to make 100, I'm going to make 1,000. But that's what I'm not going to make. I'm going to do my best to treat people the way I'd want to be treated if I was a customer. And I hope that you guys do the same. Now, for the record, on that animal that we missed on, no big deal. Because we went out and we found one from somebody else. We actually got one, and we showed you the unboxing. It was from Constriction Addiction. And it was a very, very similar animal. Very, very close genetically. And I actually know who Constriction Addiction is. So I do trust their line a little bit more because they produce scaleless with it. So I kind of know what I'm getting into with those guys. It came to my door. I didn't have to drive. And the difference in price from what I had offered on the original one that I missed on to this one, especially if you factor in what it would have cost me to pick it up, is probably around $50, not the 3 times the price that somebody was trying to say it should have been. So, anywho, it worked out good for me, but what it does do is I guarantee you the next time if I see that person selling something again, will I be hesitant to do business with them? Yes, I will be. Just like I'm sure somebody would be hesitant to do business with me had I treated them the same way. You know? Another good example is this snake here. We got this one from Tallgrass. Come here, little jewel. This is what I think is a Tofino. To Tallgrass's credit, whenever I went to look at it, they said, look, it's either a Tofino or a Toffee. We're not 100% sure, so we're charging the price of a Tofino. Now, if this turns out to be Toffee, I can guarantee you that Reed and Eric are not going to try to make me pay them an extra $150 because it had more than what they said in it. They're going to be happy for me. We're all going to move on. That's just the way it works. You know, they're making sure that their customers get told what could be there, but they're only charging for what they know is there in most cases. You know, or they're upfront about it. Being upfront and honoring your deals are the 2 most important things you can do in business. If you don't do those 2 things, and you continually go back on your deals or continually misrepresent things on purpose, not an actual mistake, I tell you guys, you're not going to survive in this. Can you do it once? Maybe. Can you? I mean, because if you had to do it to the wrong person, and they were going to go on there and every one of those groups and everywhere else and go on here and blast your name and do all these things, it could seriously damage your reputation, especially when you're starting out and make it extremely hard to recover. So just when you're doing your business, treat others. It's a golden rule. We teach our kids the same thing. Treat others the way you want to be treated. It's the exact same thing. If you wouldn't like it, don't do it to your customers. Because you only get one name in this world. And if I ruin this one, it's not like I can just go start again. Well, I can, but it'd be kind of unscrupulous. And I built this along with camera guy Kurt, and we built a reputation that we wanted to build. We try to keep adding to it. That's the only way that I think you can do things. Kurt, what do you want to add?
Not much. Didn't that person, he approached us about buying stuff too?
He did. He actually came to us. I didn't come to him about purchasing things with some animals. And we set up a deal on one again. Names are staying completely out of it, and don't ask, because if you ask who it was, whether you ask me on a comment here or whether you message me, I'm not going to tell you. I don't think that'd be right of me, again, because I'm going to allow this person to make a mistake. I'm going to allow this person the opportunity to learn from that mistake, and I'm going to allow this person to hopefully the chance to go on and be as successful as they can possibly be in this hobby. Because I want that for them. I really do. If it sounds like I'm pissed, I'll be honest, I'm not, because it kind of worked out for me in the end anyway. You know? So, which things have a tendency to do if you just stick to it. But you're right. They approached us. It wasn't like we went out and found them. So, you know, and it wasn't like we hid the price. Whenever I offered a price, I sent things right then, and I followed up later and said, this is what I'm thinking. This is why I'm thinking that price. Because I also knew that they probably didn't have a lot of experience in pricing things. So I wanted them to know where I was coming from, so they didn't think I was just trying to take them to cleaners. Because anytime you screw somebody over, especially in a niche market like this, okay, ball pythons isn't a huge thing. There's a lot of people into it, but it's not like, you know, how many people would be into archery like Kurtz does, or how many people are into cars. You know, I can screw somebody over on a car deal and probably never see them again because everybody has cars. But in here, if I go out there and I screw somebody over, I'm probably going to deal with that person again. Okay? They're probably going to have interaction with me, or we're going to have interaction with people who would be my customers, but then they're going to tell them, no, this guy screwed me over. So I try not to do that, whether I'm buying or whether I'm selling. Doesn't mean I look for a good deal, you know, but I don't try to rip them off. And if I am offering a deal that's way too low, because I've done that before, I tell them up front, look, my offer is going to be way below market because it's not something I really need. If I get it for this price, I'll take it. But you can do better. But if you really want to sell, I'll buy them at this. I've actually told people that before because I want to be up front, no matter what I'm doing. Because I think there's too much shady shit that goes on in this hobby, and I don't want to be that shady guy. So I guess my challenge is just don't do that. If you make a deal, stick to it. If you're not sure on the deal, don't say, yeah, let's do it. Say, give me some time to think about it, you know, or whatever. But don't make a deal, you know, go back and forth for a few days and be good. Then all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, go back on it. Just don't do that shit. I mean, it's not that hard not to do that. It's really not. All right. Anything else you want to add, Kurt?
Nope.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We haven't done a rant in a while, so I thought, why not? You know, I debated about even doing this video because, you know, and I told the guy the same thing I'm kind of saying in this video. It's this little piece of advice. So this isn't directed towards anybody specifically. This is more directed in general towards the hobby because I already had a chat with him about it. And I told him, like, look, I'm not going to blast you over it because I understand being new and making mistakes. So I debated whether or not I should even talk about it, but I decided in the end I would talk about it and just omit anything identifying. So please don't even bother asking who it was because you will not get an answer. Or you'll get an answer, but it won't be what you want. It'll just simply be a, like I told you, I'm not going to tell you. So, all right, guys. Thanks for watching. Catch you next week.